Pay attention to this courtroom footage captured by a local journalist during what should have been a routine sentencing hearing. Watch the defendant standing between four court officers, completely still, wearing something that made every person in that room go cold. See that white ceremonial hood with the crimson cross? The matching robe with symbols that represent one of America's darkest legacies? This man is about to make a confession that will blow apart everything the prosecution just spent 8 months building. What he says in the next 60 seconds won't just shock the courtroom, it'll expose a conspiracy that reaches into the highest levels of federal law enforcement. This is the story of how one man's twisted double life led to 6 deaths and how the truth almost died with them. You know that moment when you see something so bizarre, so completely out of place, that your brain struggles to process what you're looking at? For everyone packed into courtroom 4C at the Riverside County Justice Center on September 22, 2017, that moment came when Trevor Caldwell walked through those double doors. The courtroom had been buzzing with anticipation. Families of the victims sat on one side, clutching photographs and tissues. On the other side, a handful of supporters, though calling them that feels wrong, waited to see their man face his fate. Journalists had camped out since dawn to get seats. This was the sentencing hearing everyone had been waiting for. The trial had been a media circus lasting 8 months, with testimony that made hardened prosecutors physically ill. But nobody expected what happened next. When Trevor Caldwell entered that courtroom, flanked by 4 court officers, he wasn't wearing the standard orange jumpsuit. He'd somehow gotten permission, and this detail still sparks outrage, to wear his religious garments for the sentencing. What walked into that room looked like something from a different century. A ghost from America's bloodiest chapters, pure white robes, immaculately clean, with ceremonial cords wrapped around his torso, and that hood, that white hood with the crimson cross on the forehead and the circular emblem on the chest. Someone in the gallery screamed. One of the victim's mothers collapsed and had to be carried out. The judge, Honor Marianne Kettering, went pale but held her composure. She'd seen a lot in her 30 years on the bench, but this was something else entirely. Trevor Caldwell was 36 years old, a former military contractor and self-described patriot who'd been convicted 3 weeks earlier on 6 counts of first-degree murder. The victims were all members of Unity Bridge, a grassroots organization in Riverside, Oregon, that worked on racial reconciliation and community healing. They'd been found dead in a warehouse on the outskirts of town on February 8, 2017. Execution-style shootings, professional, cold, methodical. The evidence against